week on Fast Track, Zeta Tau Alpha sororities, big man on campus philanthropy, credit card changes that affect college students, and the innovative approach Purdue faculty has taken to help prevent suicide. All this and more on this week's Fast Track.
New credit card rules with an emphasis on protecting consumers took effect recently, and Joey Beard looks into how these new rules could make it considerably harder for college students to obtain credit cards.
The availability of credit is both an American dream as well as an American nightmare.
The days of easy credit cards for college students are largely over.
New consumer protections regulating credit cards took effect Monday, and America's college students are taking notice. The new rules set limits on how credit card companies can raise rates and fees, a problem that has hit Americans of all ages. But new protections for those 21 and under mean many college students now have to prove that they can pay their balances in full or have a cosigner on the account. According to Sally Mae, 84% of undergraduates have at least one credit card, and they're carrying record high balances, averaging in the excess of $3,000. And with the nation's economic downturn, students are charging more than ever before, even for necessities like textbooks, just to get by. That weight can be a burden students carry with them well into adulthood. Until now, credit card companies targeted students with enticing terms, but those terms later reset, much higher. Still, even wary students often feel compelled to open accounts. Why? To start building their credit. But here's the problem. As the debt piles on, many students end up hurting their credit scores for years beyond graduation. For Fast Track News, I'm Joey Beard.
Adolescent suicide rates are on the rise, and 35% of school counselors do not receive graduate-level instruction on a crisis intervention situation, according to the 2002 Brigham Young University survey. Members of the Purdue faculty have taken a unique approach to suicide prevention by creating a video game to better prepare counselors. Frances Bridges and Sarah Cometa have the story.
In 2007, a study showed that 14.5% of high school students had seriously considered suicide in the previous 12 months, and 6.9% reported making at least one attempt. One Purdue professor innovatively addressed the issue of suicide prevention by creating a video game to help graduate students simulate the school counselor experience. The game includes real-life responsibilities, such as school meetings and paperwork, which must be completed while trying to identify a student at risk for suicide. Students played a significant role in the conception and creation, ensuring the game's realism. Terry Patterson, the team development leader, explains the students' role in the creative process.
The team of students worked on it were very game savvy. They were gamers, and they used their experience to create the user interface and where things should be placed in the screen. So that was very helpful, that they had a lot of input.
Veronica Novak-Verdon, a student and suicide prevention activist who has struggled with depression and her father's suicide, gives us her opinion on the game.
I think counselors would be more attentive if they had the game. I feel some counselors don't know what to do when they're treating especially college students with depression or suicide ideation, because students don't come right out and say it, especially in our age population. We don't like to talk about it. We don't want people to know there's anything wrong, and until something happens where someone commits suicide, you never knew. The signs were there, but unless you know what the signs are, it's hard to read. And I think for counselors, it's a frustrating job dealing with college students.
Hopefully the game will prepare school counselors for suicide prevention.
Zeta Tau Alpha held its annual Big Man on campus this last week. The women of Zeta, along with the entire Greek community, worked tirelessly for the year-long event to raise money for breast cancer awareness and education. This year, there was a record total raised. Veronica Appleton has more.
With a heavily anticipated audience, including the Kappa Sigma fraternity, much flag waving, and Sigma Nu, the BMOC contestants were ready for the show. The event was a long way coming since the start of the Big Man on Campus philanthropy in 1992 to support and find a cure for breast cancer. The program dedicates to fighting breast cancer with educational programs, promotions on breast health awareness, and integrating the Purdue community. The all-male beauty pageant gave Elliott Hall of Music another round of cheer and enthusiasm as 26 contestants graced the stage, but 5 of which caught the audience attention. The opening act began with Delta Sigma Phi displaying an energetic battlefield of dancing, singing, and a theatrical ensemble. The next act was from Phi Kappa Psi, who revealed singing great tunes is not only for the professionals. The next act was from a fraternity that showed their own rock band talents to fight breast cancer, the BMOC second runner-up, and more rock tunes. The night ended with Zeta Tau Alpha Purdue President Alex Bernanke congratulating BMOC co-director Sarah Wagner and Quinn Conway for their commitment in making the event a success. Wagner and Conway announced a record high of $126,000 raised for the event. The big man on campus this year was Jimmy Kaufman, a member of Delta Chi fraternity. Next year, Zeta Tau Alpha plans to continue promoting breast cancer and wearing pink until it is just a color again.
When we come back, we'll have the latest report on Campus Haiti fundraisers and our political update.
And we'll go to Shadia's weather wall for our national weather forecast. Stay tuned.